Hello, everyone. My name is Swamp. Oh, and as Swamp, I forgot to turn on the audio. Let's try it again. Hello, everyone. My name is Swamp. Intro. I messed it all up. Here we go.
Try Jesus, don't try me, cause I fight. Try Jesus, don't try me, cause I throw hands. Jesus talked about getting slapped. When you fuck with me, we gonna have to scrap. Try Jesus, don't try me, cause I fight. I got no problem laying these hands. 2, 3, 4. Try Jesus, don't try me, yes, cause I fight. Try Jesus, don't try me, cause I throw hands. In the Bible they talk about turn that cheek, well, jump on that bus, well, you don't sit right with me, yeah. Try Jesus, don't try me, cause I fight.
Damn, this wine and spaghetti is delicious.
Try Jesus, don't try me, cause I fight. Try Jesus, don't try me, cause I know him. In the Bible, they don't bother me, I see. That's the only part of that book there don't fit right with me, yeah. Try Jesus, don't try me, cause I fight. I got no problem
Laying these hands. Hey,
Alright, count down from 5.
try Jesus. Don't try me. Is that offensive to anybody? I don't know. Is that actually offensive? I mean, I know my 666 hat was offensive, so I'm like, is that actually an offensive thing to say? I have no idea. Yeah, we should all be triggered by that. I'm just never sure because, you know, the left is going to be triggered by stuff and the right tries to claim that they're not triggered by things. But try wearing a Route 666 hat. See how that works out. We're kind of freewheeling tonight. I edited some videos, but I did not actually write a script for Swamp News and some of the other things that I got planned, which I normally do. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this works out. You guys digging the background music? This is the second show that I've had where I had a little bit of background music playing. Is that working for you? Is that working out? I just realized that I did not make a show map to put up on the left side of the screen. So we're doing Swamp News, of course. We're going to go over some of, I guess you could say, misinformation about the Highland Park shooter, which I've done 2 different times. Last night we went over, if you caught the beginning of that stream before we just went off the rails, his YouTube archive, went through his videos and how saying there was clear warnings and blah 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 is kind of stupid. He was just a teenager, an arrested development disturbed person. And we are going to explore, can you in fact cuck the tuck? And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that sounds incredibly filthy, and I'm sorry for that. But we'll see. Can you in fact cuck Tucker Carlson? We'll find out. We're going to go through this together. See if we can figure this out. So, of course, the first thing, Swamp News. Hello, everyone. My name is Swamp Johnson, and this is Swamp News. Earlier this week, someone bombed the Georgia Guidestones. And if you don't know what that is, you're probably a well-adjusted human being. It was a monument to the New World Order. And you know, here on Swamp News, we do not report misinformation. That is actually what it is. So, of course, the big controversy has been who bombed the Georgia Guidestones. We have obtained here on Swamp News exclusive footage of the bomber. So here is a photo of the suspected bomber. If you have any information, please contact your local authorities. Allegedly, the bomber's name is Pepe. Again, we do not report misinformation. So if you have any information on Pepe, please contact your local authorities. Of course, Kamala Harris this week had more brilliant things to say. She is the voice of a generation, always speaking absolute truth in a way that is truly articulate, that rivals that of really any philosophers in human history. So here we go. The quote of the week from Kamala Harris.
Because you have been forced to have to take it seriously. The whole nation should understand and have a level of empathy to understand that this can happen anywhere.
So we need to take this seriously, and you have for sure been forced to take things seriously, and we should seriously consider seriously listening to Kamala Harris. I hope you wrote all that down. In other news, Gavin Newsom, the amazing governor of California, which is the undisputed best state in the country, recently ran an ad in Florida begging people, actually begging them, to please come back to California.
It's Independence Day, so let's talk about what's going on in America. Freedom, it's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors. I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight, or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom to choose, freedom from hate, and the freedom to love. Don't let them take your freedom.
Don't let them take your freedom. In a completely unrelated news story, here is a infograph showing the number of people who have recently fled California. That is a lot of people. Wow. Truly unbelievable. Why would anyone leave the nation's greatest state? In other news, some governors are in fact still based. Here is a new ad that came out from a governor candidate known as Jerome.
Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense, that no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods, you just might need that semi-automatic and all 30 rounds.
So here on Swamp News, we would like to let you know, buy more guns, buy more extended mags, and continue to stand against tyranny. Thank you for listening to the absolute ultra right-wing alt-right news. My name is Swamp Johnson. And again, this has been Swamp News. All right, did you learn anything? Did you find anything out? No, that is real. That's actually hell. Let's play it again because man, that is fantastic. I have it saved in in the show map as base Jerome. Totally based. Come on, man. This guy. This guy, man. It's just fantastic. One more time.
Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense, that no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods, you just might need that semi-automatic and all 30 rounds.
Jerome for Congress, man. What a badass. When you need an AR-15 to stand up against the Democrats and Klan hoods. Oh, good stuff. I was trying to get the What Are They Mad About Now ready for tonight, but I didn't finish editing it. I'm sorry. It's not ready yet. Definitely be out next Friday once I finish editing all that. But in any case, before we get into the hilarity of this guy trying to own Tucker Carlson and it just royally backfiring on him. Oh man, it is genuinely hilarious. Before we do that, and I guess I could. He also talked to Taylor Lorenz, which, if you don't know Taylor Lorenz, our resident misinformation czar, who's always lying about everything. We could do that too. But before we get into all that, let's once again go over, for the third time, some information about the Highland Park shooter. I know. It's Rolling Stone, and you're going to say, well, how is Rolling Stone credible? Actually, in this case, they are. They actually, it's very strange that they're actually reporting real news. So, was the 4th of July shooting politically motivated? If you've been keeping up with my live streams this week, you will immediately know that the answer is no. No, it was not. He was not Antifa, he was not a transgender, and he also was not a MAGA alt-right extremist. He was a fucking dumbass. Confirmed by fact checkers as a dumbass. So the reason why I have this pulled up is because there actually is some interesting information here from people who knew him, talking about him. And in case you missed it, he was a rapper, and his rapping name was Awake. That was his name, which, of course, immediately already discredits the notion that he could have been a Trumper or right wing. What Trumper would name themselves Awake? Stupid. So, quote, "The Awake I always knew was politically completely indifferent." And if you were on the stream last night, we went through the archive of his YouTube, and you can see that he was not political. He was, as I say, confirmed by fact checkers as being a dumbass. It's really all we got. So let's go through this. All right. The name's on the screen. I'm not going to read the name. I mean, everyone can see the name. Bennett Prizes refers to the shooter by his rapper name when discussing his longtime online friend. That's something that you got to keep in mind here. This was a kid who lived on the internet. From a broken home, isolated, living on the internet. And if you say these things now, the left wing will say that, oh, of course, you're making up excuses. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, there's a mental illness problem, and if anything shows it, it's this. So, the shooter was arrested on Monday in connection with the 4th of July parade shooting that killed 7 people and injured 30. I think that has changed now from the time that this was published, but I think there was a few more people who have died, and I think the casualties have gone up from 30. Yeah, it's a terrible thing, man. It's just brutal. Early reports on the shooter have noted his attendance at a Trump rally alongside other inferences as evidence of an ideological extremist. So just posting a video of you being at a Trump rally means you're an ideological extremist, according to the geniuses who live on the internet. But multiple online friends insist to Rolling Stone that the shooter they knew was more apolitical. He was a troll, not an extremist. I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Breeze? I don't know. Like the other online friends interviewed for this story, said that while the shooter, who was known to his online friends as the shooter, clearly struggled with mental health issues, they were completely unaware of the carnage he was planning. And they admit missed signs, blah, blah, blah. So, well, hindsight's 2020, right? What I really want to get into is what they said about him. So, okay. Still, the 22-year-old's acquaintances. Where are we? Come on, let's get into the good stuff. Yeah, they say they condemn his actions, of course. Like, why do we have to say this shit? It's so stupid, man. Before you talk about something, you have to condemn a shooting. I'm pretty sure everyone condemns that. We don't need to talk about that. It's ridiculous. So let's get into it. Nodfather. I guess that's a cool username. An independent producer who developed a years-long relationship with the shooter on the messaging platform Discord said he's absolutely disgusted. But why do we have to write this shit? I mean, okay, we get it. You condemn the shooting. We all get that. So he said, I was just making lo-fi music and beats for people, just trying to send them out to artists that I enjoyed. Not long after, the shooter shared that he was creating a collective for artists called Sleepy Squad. Sleepy Squad member. Sleepy Squad. You have to be, I guess, on the internet to get why that's funny. Sleepy Squad members communicated and shared their work via a Discord server named SS. Dun dun dun. SS. An abbreviation many news outlets pointed to as evidence of a potential racial or fascist-leaning motivation for the shooting. Quote, I know a lot of people online are trying to, for some reason, link it to the Nazi SS, which it's not. It's just an abbreviation. That's all it is. This may be shocking to some people. This is going to be a revelation. The letter S, and keep up with me here. This is a deep dive. The letter S existed before the Nazis. I know this is groundbreaking information. Nazis, plural. I know there's an S at the end of it. There's also the SS from the Nazis. One could be forgiven for believing that the letter S was created by the Nazis, but it turns out that that's not true. So the letter S existed prior to the Nazis. Write that down. Tell your friends. I know this is groundbreaking information. And yes, if you think that the Rolling Stone has been about music, you apparently have not been paying attention to the last 45 years. They are absolute. I don't know what they do. Okay, so the Nodfather continued on saying, we were all just friends making music together on the internet. A lot of us are just nerdy kids who grew up playing video games and hung out online. Nodfather, who asked that only his alias be used, claims that the original logo was a bed and the concept of Sleepy Squad being lo-fi, and lo-fi is full of beats. Well, I think we all know what lo-fi is. If you haven't seen the logo, this is the logo, and that's what they've people have been claiming is some kind of right wing or just something rather, some kind of Nazi thing. It's not. It's just something that he made up that is also inspired by all different kinds of things, but it's certainly not a right wing extremist logo. Because if it was, I would certainly have known about it. That was a joke. Please don't delete me off of YouTube. And it says, referring to the popular meme. I'm sure everyone knows the lo-fi beats, the lo-fi girl, anime girl, lo-fi beats to study to. That's what it is. He says, that was the inside joke because we were all sleepy lo-fi boys. This is just... he was just a kid on the internet, man. I mean... It's like how people really actually believe, some local news station for the first time finds out about 4chan. And they do a whole segment on the fact that there's an internet community called Poll where they go out there and they post images of a frog. The frog is apparently a racist symbol. It just keeps coming up. How do we not learn from this? Anyway, we'll get into the good stuff. So he says it's 100% a coincidence, lighting up at the SS. They are not Pepe Frog enjoyers. They have nothing to do with Pepe. I inserted that. That's not in the article. So it says the shooter lived his entire life online. Pretty much everybody he was friends with was online. I don't think he ever even mentioned a IRL friend besides his ex. Shocker. He was a a white male on the internet lamenting his ex. Shocker. That was who could have seen that coming? Nodfather says, I knew that there was something in his head that was messing with him. In all honesty, a lot of it was him being self-isolating. Obviously. Obviously. Nodfather said that he and the shooter had drifted apart in recent years. In the interim, the shooter took up a new hobby, fashion design. Oh, wow. No way. He made his own... He was making his own fashion company? Man, no one does that. That's wow. He was printing shirts? Obviously, I'm being facetious because every asshole online does that. The unifying image was a striking logo. 4 triangles arranged around a diamond in a cross-like shape. I remember him showing me drawings and stuff like that. And I was just kind of like, that's cool, dude. I'm proud that you're focusing on something, he said. That was a quote. I didn't say that. Despite feeling some relief that his introverted friend discovered a new way to channel his creativity, Nodfather couldn't shake the image of the shooter's logo from his mind. The logo was what really stood out to me, he said. It was weird. It was really effing weird. Let's see if this is actually worth noting, because the Rolling Stone wrote this here. It's worth noting that many modern right-wing extremists have often cloaked fascist symbols in memes, irony, and internet doublespeak, finding refuge for their ideology on forums such as 4chan. Dun, dun, dun. 4chan. I bet you there was freaking Pepe memes in there too. I bet you even some of those guys did the okay hand sign, which used to be, you know what, the okay hand sign? That's always been a white supremacist dog whistle. And if you don't know that, you're a fascist. I mean, you're just blatantly a fascist. I don't know what else to say. You are clearly a fascist. Again, here, let me pull up the logo. It's certainly, obviously to me, if I was to say what this seemed like to me, this is clearly something made off of 4chan. A 4chan user made this. I mean, people actually think, and I believe it or not, people actually really think that Pepe the Frog is a white nationalist symbol. They actually think that. And they find memes where it's Pepe and he's wearing like an SS uniform or something, and it's something. The problem is that people don't understand jokes. This looks exactly like someone on 4chan would make this. This is exactly what someone on 4chan would make. It's got everything in it, right? Sharp lines, white on black look. I mean, this is exactly what they would do. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, aesthetically. I mean, if there's one thing that you can say about the Nazis, they were stylish. Okay, not a. I'm not saying that I agree with them, because I don't. I'm just saying, if there's one thing you can say about them, they were certainly stylish. All right, they had their logos were fantastic. The aesthetic was quite good. I don't think I can say the word Nazi and good in the same sentence, but I did it anyway. Okay, let's continue, because we'll get into the actual interesting part. Because, you know, what's not interesting is this dumb shit that they put in there because the editor was like, hey, we got. It's worth noting that many modern right-wing extremists have often cloaked fascist symbols and memes. Well, was it the Washington Post or the New York Times that did that article a few years ago about how laughter and jokes were the new right-wing propaganda? Humor is now the tool of the right. Hey, you don't have to own yourself that hard. Just because you're a sorry sack of shit, you don't have to put that on the rest of us. All right? I'm just saying. Okay, let's go forward. Since news of his arrest broke, nearly all of the shooter's online footprint, which included the Sleepy Squad Discord, a self-published booklet on Amazon. I would love to get my hands on that. That would be interesting to see. 2 Twitter accounts, a YouTube page, an Instagram, a SoundCloud. Oh my god, of course he had a SoundCloud. I mean, he had face tattoos. We could just assume that he had a SoundCloud. Verified artist profile on Spotify has been wiped from the internet, which is one of the things that we went over last night. We went through his whole YouTube channel archive. I honestly thought they were going to shut that down. Like YouTube, I thought that for sure they had some algorithms that were like checking for that, but it worked. Okay, anyway. Before going offline, several Awake the Rapper tracks boasted over 1 million streams on the platform, with one song topping over 2 million listens. I'm suspicious of that. You can buy that. And it's not even that expensive. Google it right now. Look it up. It's pretty cheap to do. If it hit 2 million after the shooting, I would believe it. But they deleted it, so it's clearly wasn't after the shooting. I would actually believe it if it was after the shooting. It got 2 million listens. I would absolutely believe that because everyone's looking it up, right? I'm looking it up right now. Oh man, I think they're targeting me here. In spite of the takedowns, a vast archive of the shooter's videos still remain available. Dun dun dun. I actually don't really understand why they delete stuff when from shooter offline. Why do they do that? I mean, knowing that it's still going to be available, right? I mean, it is still available. We went over all of it last night. Why do they do that? I just, it seems pointless to me, but in one since removed video where he repeatedly refers to himself as Sleepwalker, which again, we watched that last night. The shooter suggests he had arrived at a sort of emotional precipice. Okay, well, I'm not sure that I got that out of it. I mean, we watched it last night. I'm not sure that's I'm not sure that that's what I got out of it. He uploaded the video to 2 different platforms under 2 different names in November of last year. On Vimeo, he titled the video "Are You Awake?" But the YouTube version was given a more ominous title, "Just Do It." He was a Nike fan, right? Isn't that Nike? Or was it Adidas? It was Nike, right? Just do it. I don't know. I just know that they're clearly complicit with right-wing extremist murderers, obviously. If I was to use the news media's logic. Where's the part? We gotta get to the part where they talk about his political beliefs, because I feel like that's what's actually most important, because he didn't have any. Quote, "My thought is unnecessary. I know what I have to do," he says in the clip, which features the logo. You know, it's the journalists who are glorifying this guy and putting all this deep meaning into things that he did on the internet. He said he was a sleepy lo-fi boy. Come on, man. Oh, that's just the internet for you. I don't know what to tell. Have you ever been on the internet? Jesus. Nothing can stop me, not even myself. That's a quote from the video. We went over all this stuff last night. If you were on the stream, we went through all of his videos. Hindsight's 2020, but I'm not sure that any of this actually infers anything about what he was going to do, because I would say that there's probably at least a million teenagers out there right now posting this exact same thing. I mean, come on. He's a sick individual. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. So, where is... Oh, here we go. Yet on the Sleepy Squad Discord, his friends say the shooter's posts and behavior were far from troubling, instead reflecting the post-ironic, off-color internet speak popular among terminally online youth. Quote, he would make fun of the whole UWU culture. You guys in the chat, you know what we're talking about. Continue the quote, like ironically make fun of them and pretend to be a weeb. Godfather explained, referring to an emoticon often used by anime devotees. Quote, we all grew up watching Adult Swim and kind of have a different sense of humor. Oh, it's hilarious to me to watch this. Like, the fact that people don't know about these things and it's being written in this way to explain it just cracks me up. Oh, come on, man. Again, I'm not in any way justifying or, agreeing with anything he did. Obviously not. But it's just funny to me. That's like, okay, I'm in my 30s and the growing up, being in the online sphere, like we were talking about last night, like battle.net and getting into the early days of 4chan and those things. It's like, it's it's just funny to me the way that they word this stuff. They don't. This is something out of this world, man. Like, it's super edgy. We all grew up watching Adult Swim, and we have a different sense of humor. Oh, yeah, for sure. Man, I want to try. I'd like to get my hands on this. It says the shooter's mental state, a 23-page long booklet. I'd like to find this. I'd like to read this. It'd be interesting. A booklet he self-published in February 2021. Amazon removed it, of course. An image preview showed the text was comprised entirely of random number sequences. When asked about the work, the shooter's friends were unsure of its significance, but insisted the book was most likely a deliberate esoteric art piece. Of course it was. Of course it was. Modern art. This is the problem, putting significance in nothing. You've seen similar things, so you emulate it. That's really what all of this boils down to. If you remember on the stream last night, where we went over his entire archive, it's all emulating things that he thinks are somehow profound. It's not real. It's all bullshit. Oh, don't get me wrong, Donald. I'm not ripping on it. It's just funny to me because it's something that is so common knowledge among a certain generation that it's just funny to see it written this way. You know what I mean? He was into symbology, but he never explained it to me. He just briefly brought up he was writing a book. Nodfather explained, it makes way more sense for it to be an art piece to get people to start talking. We went over all of his videos last night. That's all it is. It's something he wants people to talk about it because it means nothing. It's very obvious when you look at it and you watch all the videos and stuff he put up. It means nothing. It's all BS. There's nothing there. He's emulating what he thinks an intelligent person would do, or a deep person, or a disturbed person. What? So his friend says he's also convinced the text was intended as a work of outsider art and dismisses the probability it contains hidden messages about the shooting. Well, this guy sounds like a reasonable human being. I would also agree with that. Quote, I don't know. Maybe it was a long play the whole time, he conceded. He wasn't stupid by any means, but to orchestrate something like that is deaf. Wrote it. Deaf out of his scope. He wasn't an idiot, but he was probably too stupid to plan this out. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here, this is the part I was wanting to really get into. In his scant public social media postings outside of the Sleepy Squad community, the shooter never explicitly referenced allegiance or alliance to any particular political party or ideology. Still, as images of him draped in a MAGA flag and attending a September 2020 Trump rally outside of Chicago spread across the internet, social media users wondered if the gruesome attack was politically motivated, and you could basically substitute the words social media users with retarded, mentally handicapped, low IQ, moron. Take your pick. Social media users, that is definitely a synonym for fucking dumbass. Others latched onto geometric logo that he designed for his clothing line and frequently used in his music videos due to its resemblance to a symbol used by the Finnish far-right faction. Oh, what is this timeline, man? What reality do we live in? Oh my God. Get out of here. So it says, quote, the pictures of him being at the Trump rally. I remember asking him about it because he was not a Trump supporter at all, and it threw me off. The Nod father said. You get it? It's not, they're in the Sleepy Boy squad. Okay. Quote, I was like, what the F are you doing there? And he was like, oh my God, reading this just kills my brain. I was like, and he was like, and it was literally like, and blah, blah, and The Handmaid's Tale. Let's try this again. Quote, I was like, what the F are you doing there? And he was like, look at my shirt. He was wearing a Where's Waldo shirt. So he just wanted to F with people. He just wanted to be funny. Man, that was a hard sentence to get through. And like, seriously, it actually was like really hard to get through. I'm not even kidding. It was actually like that. Is what it was like. By Tuesday morning, information about the victims began to emerge, including a beloved synagogue. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We don't necessarily need to go into that. This paragraph right here, before this article ever came out, this is what I was telling everybody. And I'd be interested to see if they go into the... This was left-wing propaganda, saying that he was a Trumper, saying that he was a Trump guy. Where it says here that, you know, he was clearly not a Trump supporter. And he's actually said it several times that he was not a Trump supporter, did not like Trump. Wearing a Where's Waldo t-shirt at a political rally, that's something I would have done when I was a teenager. Definitely would have done that. Let's see if they get into the other side of it, which was the he's not transgender and he's not Antifa. All of that stuff was fake. I looked it up. It's all fake. Yeah, blah, blah. He did struggle with a lot of mental health issues, but he never had any signs to be like, oh my God, the way this guy talks. Oh, be like... He never had any signs to be like, okay, we need to call somebody immediately. I feel like a lot of the issue with guns is directly related to mental health issues. And this is not talked about enough. I feel like it's pushing the issue down deeper. Man, the Nodfather. The Nodfather, he knows what he's talking about, man. Yep. Have a good night, brother. Mr. Donald. You must be a Trumper. I'm sorry, I'm just going by the media's logic here. I think it was a very clear instance of someone falling through the cracks and losing their grasp on reality. With the information I know and the perspective I have, that is the only reasonable conclusion I can come to. Which, who knew that the Nodfather would be the voice of reason in this whole thing? That's what I've been saying since all this started, and showing the ridiculousness of these claims that he was a Trumper, or the claims that he was Antifa, or the claims that he was, I don't know, what the hell do you want to call it? A transgender leftist something or other. It was all ridiculous on its face. I mean, like, from the beginning. The only way that you would believe that is if you wanted to believe that. If you wanted to confirm your preconceived notions. That's the only reason you'd ever believe it. It really is. So, the shooter, not a Trumper. Can we write that down? Can the fact checkers, can they confirm that? So, I think that in the last week, I've done more research than most of these people have done on it, and he was not a lady, was not a transgender, was not Antifa, and was not MAGA. He was a sick son of a bitch that I wish there was more people there. It's Illinois. This can't happen in Illinois. I wish there was somebody there who was armed, who was able to put him the fuck down. That would have been the easiest solution to this. Come on. But in Illinois, there was about, what was it, like 4 different laws that should have stopped this from happening. But they didn't, because it doesn't work. It's if that piece of human waste tried to do that where I live, he would have got maybe 2 shots off before someone pulled out a gun and just ended him right then and there. So, yeah, talk to me more about how this proves that we need to have more gun laws. Really? Really? What about the gun laws that were already in place? Because we're talking about Illinois, Chicago. What laws do they not have that you would like to have? Because they have all of them. They have all of them. So now, the thing that I've been most excited about, I only watched clips of this. I haven't seen the whole thing. Man, I cannot wait for this. This is going to be awesome. Can you cuck the tuck? Can you cuck Tucker Carlson? I don't think you can. I think he's a legend. He's the only thing that Fox News has going for them, because Fox News is fucking garbage. The same as CNN is garbage. It's garbage. Tucker Carlson, man, what a legend. So let's see, because this is someone who tries to paint him as white nationalist, racist, white supremacist, whatever. Whatever. The stupid names they come up with. Let's see how it goes.
I'd like to call back to the stage my colleague Ben Smith, Semaphore
Ben Smith, if you know him, he's
going to be speaking.
Excellent journalism coming from Ben
News.
Smith.
Tucker is joining us remotely from New York. Ben, good luck.
Thank you, Steve. Tucker, wow, nice closet.
Ben Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm glad you agreed to join us.
Oh, did you get it right off the bat? He owned him. Nice closet.
Someone just texted me and said you were pretty tough with Taylor Lorenz, which I was heartened to hear, but it's easy to hurt her feelings. So I hope you'll check your privilege.
I'm just hoping you'll let me ask questions and not steamroll.
It's easy to hurt her
You're
feelings.
a professional, and I'm not.
Well, you're the tough one, Ben.
But I have been watching your show a lot, and you spend a
Press
lot of time
X to doubt.
laughing
I'm pretty sure
about
he's not been
labels
watching
that are
Tucker's
thrown.
show.
Racist, white supremacist, the most host of the most racist show in the history of cable television. And actually, I'd rather not ask you about the labels, but sort of give you an opportunity to talk about what you believe. And to begin with, do you believe white people are superior to other races?
No, of course not. And the funny thing is,
what a dumb question to ask. If anyone ever thought this guy had any journalistic credibility, which would also make you dumb if you thought that, but if you thought that question in and of itself, the way that it was framed and everything he just said, go F yourself. That's the dumbest question. Do you believe that the white race is superior? And dude, no, get out of here. You clearly don't know anything about the real world. If you're asking this question, you're a dumbass. You should be fired. Continue.
that's one of those.
Let me just stop on the yes/no question there.
Oh, and when Tucker Carlson tries to answer the question, he cuts him off and goes, no. It's like, do you believe that white people are superior to other people? Well, let me answer that question. Nope, stop. Don't answer that question. Let me go to something else. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And just to put it a little differently before you respond, which is...
Please put it differently, yeah.
White people have more of a claim
white people are
on America.
superior in any way.
Do you think that white people have some claim on America that people of other races don't?
Of course not. I mean, first of all, I'm a Christian, so I think God made everybody, and therefore everyone has equal value in his eyes. That's the essential value of every person is the same. But the idea that I harbor some sort of deep racial animus is like, I mean, I think there are a lot of criticisms you could level at me. I think sometimes I overstate the case, I get pissed, I can be very nasty. You've been on the receiving end of that. I know you can vouch for that. But the idea that I'm that I I mean, if you were to look at my texts or listen to my personal conversations or read my mind, you would find no instance where I'm like, I'm mad at black people. 100% of the people that I'm mad at are well-educated white liberals. In my mind,
That's nice. Neil, and you still there? That's the swamp thing, man. College-educated liberal white women. They're a blight on this nation. I'm glad that Tucker and I see eye to eye on that one.
sort of archetype of the person I don't like is like a 38-year-old female white lawyer with a barren personal life. That's who yells at me on airplanes. And so I always say to people like, "You're racist."
Okay, let me
I'm not mad at black people. Like, what are you talking about?
Let me show you. Let me show you. I think why people react this way. I think we have a clip I just wanted to show you. Sydney? Can you play that?
In political terms, this policy is called the Great Replacement, the replacement of legacy Americans with more obedient people from faraway countries.
So.
Oh, first of all, right off the bat, we want you to react to a clip that we feel like encompasses you. Plays a 6-second clip. That's what these people do, man. Oh, there. I want you to react to something. This is you. Plays 4 seconds of a clip. Oh, yeah, that probably sums up the entirety of the opinion. I mean, come on, get out of here. Oh, yeah. What a great thing to play. Go fuck yourself, man.
So, Tucker, what's a legacy American?
People who were
oh, come on, you don't know what a legacy
black
American
people,
is?
White people, Hispanic people,
Such a
Asian
disingenuous
people who
fucking
are
thing to say.
citizens, people who participated, generationally in our system, and a lot of them don't buy the program of the modern Democratic Party because it doesn't serve them. And so the center of the Democratic electoral strategy going forward, I'm not guessing, they talk about it constantly, you're a journalist, you must have noticed, is to bring in new people who will vote for them. Now that,
do you think,
let me just finish if you don't mind. This is not something that I made up or found on the internet. I don't even really go on the internet. This is something that Democrats, including, the architect of Obama's last victory, have talked about at great lengths in pieces, monographs, on television. They've written books about it. So this is not like some crackpot Alex Jones.
Do you think when you talk about
this?
Oh, he doesn't even. When he realizes that Tucker Carlson is actually starting to go, oh shit, this guy's making sense. Like he's actually actually addressing the question instead of responding to what Tucker Carlson says. He goes, well, hey, let's shift gears here real quick. Oh yeah.
Central strategy of the Democratic Party. So to be like, I can't believe you said that. I'm putting it back to them.
You talked about generational investment. How many generations makes you a legacy American?
I'm just saying people who live here now, including immigrants.
Do you have any empathy? Do you have any empathy for somebody who sees that clip? Somebody whose parents are from India, from China, who are Jewish, and say, "Wow, I don't think I just see that clip, and I don't really think this guy includes me in his vision of America."
Slow down. Okay. No, I don't have any, as you said, empathy for people.
Do you understand why they might think that?
Please let me, if you don't mind, if I could finish. I have no empathy for people who derive their judgments about anything from 30-second clips on Media Matters. I do an hour live every single night. If you want to know what I think, I don't know that there's anyone who's more transparent about it than I am. Not all of my views are correct. Not all of them are attractive. You may laugh at some of them. You may be offended by others, but I'm very clear about what I think. I believe that people are not the.
But he's absolutely right on that. And in the chat, you guys are talking about this. Is like, you don't have to like Tucker Carlson. I think I like him just about as much as I like any, political commentator, which means that I think he's intelligent enough for me to listen to. I don't agree with everything he says, but that's not a prerequisite for me to listen to somebody. I don't have to agree with everything that you say for me to listen to you, And it's like, he said it right there. if you're honestly listening to him, then you know where he stands. And that's how I've tried to live my life in general. It's like, hey, some people don't like me. Fine. Of course. Of course there's people who don't like me. But you know what I believe. You know where I stand, and you know why I think the things that I think. And based off of that, if you decide you don't like me, fine. But you can't just make shit up about me. Because even people who don't like me know what I believe if they've listened to me. Yeah. That first question is, do you actually think that white people are somehow genetically they're superior to others? You've clearly never actually listened to this man speak if you're going to ask such a stupid question. Stupid question. I mean, that is one of the dumbest things I could have ever heard anyone ask of anybody. I mean, it's just so dumb. Oh, yeah. And then when he tries to answer, he goes, "But wait. Let me shift gears. Let me change up here." And it's like, no, you wanted to know a question. You asked me a question. You want to know the answer. I'll tell you. No. It's all disingenuous. It's all lies. That's all it
The
is.
sum total of their genetics. I say that constantly, and as a Christian, I really mean it. I actually buy the kind of Dr. Seuss, please, version of race understanding, which is judge a person by what he does, not by how he looks. I actually believe that. I grew up in Southern California in the 70s, and I say it constantly.
You do, but yet somehow, Tucker, the thing you have an hour every night, as you said. Let me. I want to move on to some other questions.
Okay, don't filibuster me.
You are misunderstood, perhaps, in your view a lot. Then, both by, as you said,
It's not
kind of the New York Times,
I'm saying it now.
but also you keep having sort of explicit white supremacists who have on secret message boards who work for you, and you have to. I know this is very painful for
Oh, okay. Oh man. I'm trying. Ooh. You have explicit white supremacists who talk on secret message boards. Oh man. He's basically just said, let me make a statement, an affirmative statement, and then follow it up with something that completely invalidates what I just said and makes it unverifiable. Dude, get out of here. What are you talking about? You have actual explicit white supremacists, but they're on secret message boards. Oh, so no one can confirm that these people are white supremacists? Well, how convenient for you, you freaking blob. I mean, look at this guy. What a loser. You have explicit white supremacists who are on secret message boards. These people do not live in the real world. They don't live in reality. It's a constructed reality. This is not... How could you say something like that and not want to kick your own ass? That's all I'm saying, Ben Smith. Your name is already absurd enough. How could you say something like that and not want to kick your own ass? I mean, what is that?
For you in some cases.
I've never even met a white supremacist.
You have these folks. You have folks who have posted. You have a large number of people. Scott Greer, Blake Neff. I'm just curious why you did sort of flypaper for these people on your staff.
You're not asking me a question.
That was the question. Why have you been flypaper for these racists?
I want to kick this guy's ass. Why have you been flypaper for racists? Dude, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Zoom in. Enhance. Oh my God. I didn't even have to hear him talk before I knew what dumb shit was about to come out of his mouth. Get out of here.
I've never had a white supremacist work for me. I don't think I've ever talked to a white supremacist. Please let me finish.
And I don't want to fight about labels.
Hold on, slow down. I'm not sure what that.
I don't want to fight about labels. Ben, you were the one who asked about the labels. It gets tired. It gets so tiring. It's like, so why do you employ white supremacists? Yeah, I don't know that I've ever met a white supremacist. I'm not sure I've ever employed a white supremacist. Actually, I don't want to get really bogged down in labels, you know. What? You asked me about white supremacists. I'm answering about white supremacists. Well, you know, the whole label thing, Tucker. I don't know why you got to get into labels, man. Well, you into labels? Get out of here with your labels, man. I don't know. Bringing up labels.
That means? I know that it's a slur. It's the worst thing one can be. I don't really understand the terms, but let me just say...
You've had to let people go who said objectionable stuff.
Slow down, Ben. I believe that people are not defined by their race, any race, black, white, Asian, pick a race. People are defined, their value derives from A, the fact they were created by God. I believe that. Maybe you don't. I do. And B, by what they do, by the choices they make, by who they are. They have agency. They're not, part of some larger group. They're individuals. I believe in the individual.
Man,
and I
imagine.
say that for...
What a white supremacist. Meritocracy? Oh, God. I'm pretty sure I learned from like Ibram X. Kendi or any of these people, the 1619 Project, that a meritocracy is totally racist. Because I've been informed by black people, such as Ibram X. Kendi, that expecting people to perform in an appropriate and professional way is racist. Because according to the geniuses, such as Ibram X. Kendi, black people are incapable of that. So expecting it is racist. That's totally racist. How could you expect that from a group of people that are incapable of it? Now, to me, that sounds racist as hell. Wait, you're telling me you believe in meritocracy and you believe that it doesn't matter what someone's skin color is, they should be able to do a job, and if they can't, you should fire them? And you think that black people are even capable of that? Wow, what a racist, because we all know that black people are incapable of holding down jobs. And that's the anti-racist perspective. That's not what the Klan believes. That's not what all actual white supremacists believe. No, that's what the new anti-racist coalition believes. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. What are you talking about?
Virtually every night. Now, if you don't hear that, or if you, for whatever reason, want to claim that I'm some racist, I don't know what to say to you. I'm stating my sincere views as reflected in my personal life and my professional life as clearly as I can.
Do you feel that in your own career you've been kind of discriminated against as a white Protestant?
No.
Did I ask?
Oh, did you hear that? The way you reacted to that question, too. Oh, man. He's clearly setting up a question where he's trying to bring out the whole, really, white people believe they're the ones who are discriminated against? He's trying to bring that up. Do you believe in your career you've been discriminated against as a white Protestant something or other? Did you hear his answer? He was, no. Just immediately, what? No. What are you talking about? Oh, his answer was priceless. That genuine, just like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? What? No. What?
In part because I had been told that Roger Ailes, and that you sort of at some point expressed that Roger Ailes, the former head of Fox, had a preference for Irish Catholics, and that it kind of held you back. Was
I
that?
think I've been held back. And by the way, I can say this sincerely. If I
He's
could,
like the richest
that I've
man
never in my life been
in news
unhappy
media.
Except because of self-pity.
Do you think he really thinks he's
I'm
been
speaking for
held
myself, but I
back?
think it's true for most people. Self-pity is the root of misery. And so I really try not to feel self-pity. I have no grounds for it anyway. I've had a wonderful life. I have an unusually happy family. I live where I want. I say what I want. You know, I'm blessed, unlike a lot of journalists who are leading miserable lives. So but I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't feel I've been discriminated against. But I do believe in fairness, and I don't think you should ever hire someone on the basis of his race or sex. That's grotesque to me. It's a violation of the basic promise of the country, which is we're going to bring people from around the world who may look different, be from different backgrounds, but we're going to treat them all the same, which is to say specifically on the basis of their ability and their virtue, on the choices they make, not on the genes they have. That's
I don't know, Tuck. That sounds racist. That sounds like meritocracy.
Nazi shit. I'm against that. I'm serious.
Let me ask you about a different.
Oh shit! I paused it at the wrong time. I gotta hear that again. That's Nazi shit. I'm against that.
Their virtue, on the choices they make,
gotta
not
hear
on
that
the
again.
genes they have. That's Nazi shit. I'm against that. I'm serious.
Let me ask you about a different subject, which is January 6th, and I think.
Well, no,
Oh, again, this isn't going my way. Let's shift gears here. Let's change the topic. That's Nazi shit. I'm against that. I need that on a sticker on the back of my car. Picture of Tucker Carlson just with the quote, "That's Nazi shit. I'm against that."
I kind of like this stuff. You're not responding to me.
No, I'm
So does that
not
sound-
responding to you. I'm
let me ask
interviewing
you
you.
a question. Does that sound racist to you? You've just suggested I'm a white supremacist.
You know, I found that clip disturbing. I think the language of replacement theory, which you've popularized, the language of replacement.
Wrong. The language of replacement theory that you popularized. Wrong. I said it on the stream earlier when we were talking about aliens. I need a button that I can bring up that Donald Trump clip where he's just saying wrong. Tucker Carlson did not popularize replacement theory. That is such a lie. I mean, just on its face, what a ridiculous thing to say. What a clown.
Replacement theory is like specifically the language used by
language of
neo-Nazis to
replacement
recruit
theory
people
is-
to their cause. It has been, obviously, I'm not suggesting some straight line between words and actions, but it is the phrase that has been used by mass shooters. I wonder if you don't have any
So this
compunction
is
or
why
regret.
no
The phrase used by
popularizing
mass shooters.
This is why you are considered.
You know what, Ben? It's a language. It's been used by mass shooters. Ben, I'm pretty sure. Actually, one of the only things that I'm almost 100% sure of. Every single mass shooter, regardless of their political alignments, I'm pretty sure every single one of them, at one point, has said the name Ben. I'm pretty sure. So almost 100% sure that the name Ben has escaped their mouths at some point. Ben, I now hold you personally responsible for every single mass shooting in history. Everybody write that down. It's Ben Smith's fault. Ben Smith is responsible for all mass shootings.
Correctly a propagandist and not a journalist, because I just explained in detail with total sincerity what I believe. You ignored it and invoked mass shooters. So that's not
Seriously,
you-
what
should
a
I
just
piece
asked
of
you how
shit.
you felt about it. I actually do want to ask
What,
about
how I
something.
feel about mass shooting? I
I'd like
told
to
you to
ask
post to
about.
it.
I'd like to ask you about
Like it.
something that actually I think we probably
This is
have more
revealing
common
how
ground
ridiculous you are, and I think it's evident to any fair person watching.
on. I guess I'm trying to give you an opportunity to respond to
No,
things
you're
that have been
not.
said and written about you. But let's
You're
move to
like,
something.
white supremacist,
But
mass
I'm
shooter,
really
Absolutely
not
not.
looking
replacement theory.
to
And
have
I'm
a
like, does this
shouting
sound like
match
racist
with you.
ideology? And you're like, I'm disturbed by the Media Matters clip for 8 seconds. Like,
The
are you being serious?
Can we talk? I would love
That was generous. Talking about 8 seconds, and that's pretty generous. It was more like 4.
to talk about something that I think maybe that we can that there's maybe more common ground on, which
And of course, he did it again. This is not going my way. So I just want to change gears real quick. I just want to shift this up. Let's talk about something else because this isn't really going my way. I'm not going to address any of the things that you just said. I'm just going to continue to call you a racist and say you're responsible for all mass shootings. So, let's shift gears.
which is January 6th, and in
We haven't
specific,
talked about that enough. I
and
agree.
in
That's the
specific,
single
in
most
specific,
important
the something that the FBI's use, very aggressive use of informants and I would say particularly the Gretchen Whitmer case, where these alleged extremists were acquitted.
Oh, that's easy, man. Open back. That's you get. If you have a resonator banjo, take the back off of it. That does it. That's why I have a few different banjos, but I always I like the lower sound. It's open back banjo. That's how you do it. That's it. That's an easy one. Thank you.
And I wonder, and the media, in particular as a media story, often picks up these FBI charges, writes the story about terror charges, and then the acquittal doesn't get that kind of play. You focused a lot on that, and I wonder if it's caused you, as it has me, to sort of rethink both the FBI's treatment and the media's coverage of Muslims after 9/11.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And the Patriot Act and the Iraq War. The whole thing, look, I think just to pull back a couple feet, it's really important when you make a mistake to acknowledge it and to try to learn from it. This is something that I try to inculcate in my kids. It's a process. It's, all of our functional institutions do this. At the military, issues after action reports. How did we screw up? How can we not screw up next time? And, the Patriot Act, the rush to eliminate core historic civil liberties in this country after 9/11 has not been, I would say, examined in the depth that it requires. And I don't think there have been enough mea culpas. I personally, who supported the Iraq War technically, have apologized for it in a very heartfelt way. I continue to. I think I've learned a lot from it. I have apologized, let me do it again, for my support of the Patriot Act. Due process is not just, something we have as kind of an added feature. It's central.
It's really pissing me off. It's this is a side note. Watch Ben's face the whole time while Tucker Carlson is talking and what he's doing and where he's looking around. He's not listening to a single word that's coming out of Tucker's mouth. He's doing other things. He's looking around. He's checking his papers. He's looking in the camera. He's looking left. He's looking right. He's not listening at all. Watch his face as he continues to talk.
To maintaining a free country. And when you get rid of it, you've become you move a lot closer to tyranny. So,
and I don't mean this as a gotcha, but have you looked into I think there's some Muslim men still in jail from these kind of, these were often people who said crazy stuff.
He had these questions lined up beforehand. It doesn't matter what Tucker Carlson says. He's just going, because that was I paused it kind of at the wrong time to actually shove it. Watch this. While Tucker's talking, watch him. Watch what he does.
It's really important when you make a mistake to acknowledge it and to try to learn from it. This is something that I try to inculcate in my kids. It's a process. It's, all of our functional institutions do this. At the military, issues after action reports.
He's reading his next question right now.
Not screw up next time. And, the Patriot Act, the rush to
pretending to listen
eliminate
again.
core historic civil liberties in this country after 9/11 has not been, I would say, examined in the depth that it requires. And I don't think there have been enough mea culpas. I personally, who supported the Iraq War tepidly, have apologized for it in a very heartfelt way. I continue to. I think I've learned a lot from it. I have apologized, let me do it again, for my support of the Patriot Act. Due process is not just, something we have as kind of an added feature. It's central to maintaining a free country. And when you get rid of it, you've become you move a lot closer to tyranny. So,
and I don't mean this as a gotcha, but have you looked into I think there's some Muslim men still in jail from these kind of, these were often people who said crazy.
I don't mean this as a gotcha. Translation, I'm trying to have a gotcha here, but I want to feign as if it's objective. But we all know it's not going to work, and then he's going to say, well, let's go to a different question. Let's shift gears here for a minute.
Crazy stuff on social media, and then we're recruited by an informant.
Which should be allowed. Which should be, look, the Brandenburg decision is pretty clear. If you're inciting someone, which is the 1967 free speech case that allows us to have the jobs that we do, though I know your news organizations don't take advantage of it, but mine does. We actually have free speech at Fox, and it's really clear. If you're urging someone to imminent violence, that is not protected. Anything else is. And so the idea that, hate speech is a real category, or speech that offends me should be banned, or should become criminally prosecutable is insane.
Do you feel,
yes,
do you feel I think we all obviously to some degree feel kind of commercial constraints, and I'm curious if at Fox in particular you feel,
this guy, man, holy shit.
Could you go negative on Trump in a really sustained way? Could you support someone else without permission from above, and without your audience turning off?
Yeah, when you and everybody else in the American media were cheering on a new war with Syria or Iran or some other insane neocon quagmire, and you guys push constantly, and Trump kind of fell for it, and I went after him directly, multiple times on that.
And you don't have to clear that with,
I don't clear anything. I don't clear anything with anybody. I found my script, late, which I write. So no, look. The truth is, it's just so interesting to me. You may hate my politics. Obviously, you do. Fine with me. But the fact that there's only one TV channel in the entire country, a country of 350 million people, that allows actual free speech. And that's the one that everyone at the New York Times, the Washington Post, or any of these other absurd organizations want to destroy?
I wanted to talk to you. I'm not trying to silence you, although a little in this particular riff, because you can watch his show any night and hear it. But
just get the Media Matters clip.
But I guess, there is, I'm curious about your ambitions. There are friends of yours, to the extent you've still got them in Washington, who are talking about you're running for president.
This guy, man.
I'm curious what your thought process is.
Oh, jeez.
I have zero ambition, not just politically, but in life. My ambition is to write my script, by 8 p.m. And I'm not just saying that. Ask anyone who works with me or knows me. I don't think that way. I don't want power. I've never wanted power. I'm annoyed by things. I want them to change. But I've never been motivated by a desire to control people. I despise the libertarians, but my instincts are almost all libertarian in that way, and that's true.
So you're not running?
I'm not running.
What is this guy, man? And he keeps trying to say that he's like, I'm interviewing you. I'm not going to respond to the allegations I just laid on. I'm interviewing you. If that's really true, what a terrible interviewer.
I don't want to belabor that one.
Host, and I enjoy my job, by the way. And what a blessing it is to say what you really think. Like, only women can get pregnant. I dare you to say that.
You spoke.
No, you can't say that.
You did an interview recently with Megyn Kelly where you talked about your concern, which I think a lot of people feel about.
Didn't even address it. Love that. Hey, I don't listen to anybody, man. Only women can get pregnant. I dare you to say that. Go ahead, say it right now. Say it. And he just completely ignored it. He's like, I don't have to answer anybody. I can say whatever I want. Only women can get pregnant. I dare you to say that. So, Tucker, I have another question for you.
Potential civil conflict in this country, but sort of how scary and dangerous it's getting. I guess to begin with, do you feel there's anything? I mean, we put up. Actually, we weren't watching before these numbers. Gallup has around trust declining in the media to like 11% in all institutions, really. I mean, do you feel that you're doing anything to restore that, to try to push those numbers back up? Do you think there's anything you can do?
Yes, and I'm trying my very hardest to tell the truth. And when I screw it up, I correct it immediately. If it's a factual error, when my views on things change, I say so. I don't pretend I didn't used to think that. I admit it. I mean, it's hard for me to lie about it anyway because we have YouTube. But I just, as a matter of conscience, try and do that anyway. And I really try my hardest to tell the truth.
Hey, that's me.
Do you feel that
that's
you're
not going to catch me?
We have YouTube. That's us. Right here, right now. Tuck's talking about us, guys. Man, this is a big moment. I feel like getting referenced by Tucker Carlson. Man, this is big.
Lying. I mean, you'll definitely catch me making mistakes. I mean, I do 5 hours live every week, but you will never catch me lying on purpose. That I don't think. I mean, if you can find an example, throw it at me. But I really try to tell the truth. Now, I don't say everything that I think. There are a lot of truths. I don't tell them all. I leave some out. I shade things. And when I get pissed, I do tend to, overstate. And as my wife is always reminding me, and I regret that. But I don't lie. I feel like a lot of people lie. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
It's a total
You have another hour tonight. You got the hour tonight. Just
Again, perfectly. Tucker gets on a roll and he's explaining these things and he's no wait you got a show later tonight. You can stop now. We don't need to keep hearing that. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Perfect.
Do you feel though that if you are, as I think a lot of us are, like sort of earnestly concerned. I think the word you used was balkanization, but the notion that these divisions in the country are getting kind of deeper and more dangerous. I watch your show and I think, and maybe
no,
this is,
you don't.
Maybe I'm wrong,
That's a lie.
Your audience enjoys it when you kind of pour gasoline on those fires, not when you try to put them out. And I wonder, like, the nature of cable.
Clearly,
news
you
ratings.
don't watch.
It's so funny.
But hold on. I wonder if the nature of cable, of the sort of ratings-driven business of cable news in general, of yours in particular. I mean this seriously. Basically makes it impossible to do anything else.
I love this. I've been in TV for 27 years. I don't know how to read a ratings chart. Ask anyone who works for me or has worked with me. I never look at the ratings. I'm not on the ratings email. I'm not even on email.
But you're in the ratings business, fundamentally.
I don't know what my ratings are, and I mean that. You may not believe me. I don't own a TV. That's true. So I'm actually never thinking about
You know what your audience likes.
Can I just finish my answer? I love it's to point out what the people in charge who have all the power, whose water you carry, are doing wrong. That's pouring gasoline on the fire. It used to be called holding the powerful accountable.
Or journalism.
But for example, the Biden administration is draining the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which is one of the most valuable assets the United States owns, and selling some of it to China. Now, is it pouring gasoline on the fire to point that out? No, it's called journalism.
Do you think there's anything you do or can
journalism.
do to... Obviously, every journalist's job, tell the truth, deliver the facts. Is there anything that you ought to be doing to sort of diminish this, what you call balkanization?
Yes, there is, and I'll tell you exactly what it is.
And not just us. I know you have a lot of views on what we ought to be doing. Actually, I'm most curious about how you think about it for yourself.
I'll tell you.
What a freaking wiener this guy is.
Okay?
What a loser.
The scariest thing that could happen to America is to wind up in a country that cleaves along racial lines. Because that's just Rwanda. Like that's a cul-de-sac. We know where that ends. And identity politics is the root there.
And you think people left and right who see you, both, your friends and your enemies who see you doing that?
Please, let me just answer your smart question, because I think it's an important one. So the most important thing we can do, and we should do, people who have an audience, is to de-racialize the conversation. The Democratic Party is like, it's white people, white men versus everybody else. I hate that. That's not true. And if you look at the numbers, and I've been highlighting this, not because I want to help the Republican Party, which I despise. I hope that's clear. I don't ever want to defend the Republican Party, which does not represent.
Thank you. I agree with
what
that
I want to do
100%.
is point out that the divisions are not fundamentally racial. Look at Biden's approval numbers.
That's it. We got to find a different word, because I think a lot of people who watch my videos too would probably agree that it's like, well, yeah, most of the time, some of the people that I agree with are Republicans, but I don't like Republicans in general. They're garbage, man. They're terrible. They are not. They're the same. It's the same across the board. It's the same. The Democrats are particularly bad. I mean, like, hugely bad. But the Republicans are also bad. And I've been thinking about this a lot over the last year or so. We need a new word for this. Because saying right wing or saying conservative, I don't think that really covers it. Because that's what the Republicans say. That's also what they call the Republicans. I mean, I'm an American, but even that term, it's been ruined. Constitutionalists, originalists, all these things, they've also been ruined. So there's got to be a new word for it. I'm not sure what it is, but there's got to be a new word, man. I don't know. What would you call it? I mean, I saw people trying to make the new right happen, but that doesn't really work. Because anything when you say right wing at all, any of that stuff, the left and the media and the government, which I repeat myself 3 times, they've done such a good job of ruining those words. They lump it in with Republicans. And screw the Republicans, man. The Republicans suck. There's got to be a new name. Somewhere out there, there's a word that can explain this. Not even explain it, but just a name, so it's easier to identify. No, I'm not a Republican. Yes, I am right wing. Yes, I do believe in the Constitution. No, I don't like the term Tea Party or originalist or constitutionalist, or I don't like those words because you've bastardized them to the point that they're worthless. Like they don't mean a damn thing. And anybody else can use those words too. We got to find something else that's. I mean, what would you call it? I really don't know. There's a word there somewhere. There has to be that explains it. Yeah, but I mean, we are also human beings, so we need a word. I mean, like that's just how we communicate, right? There's got to be a word for this. I see. Traditionalist doesn't fit it for me either. I'm not because that's a word that has been bastardized and has been changed and doesn't mean what it traditionally meant. For me to put a different throw some puns on it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I really think that it is. There's got to be a word that describes why Ben Shapiro and Bill Maher are now on the same side. You know what I mean? There's got to be a word for this. Because clearly we're not talking about left and right, and we're not talking about Republican or Democrat. If Ben Shapiro and Bill Maher can sit down together and talk and agree on things that they thought they never needed to agree on because it's stupid to say that there's that there's a need to say these things, but now we have to say them out loud. There's got to be a word for it, man. Yeah, I would have traditionally called it, being a normal, sane human being. But they've normalized the worst insanity and the worst sickness that there is. So we need a word for it now. It's like everyone's saying that, DeSantis, it's the don't say gay bill. No, it's actually the bill that says, hey, everything we've ever done in human history up to this point, let's just keep doing that. That's the bill. And it's the don't say gay bill. No, it's the don't be a pedophile bill. We never needed to write this down before, but apparently we need to write it down now. The parental rights and education. That's the actual name for it, but it's, come on. Who would have thought we needed to write that down? That never would have occurred to me that we needed to write that down because I assumed people weren't pieces of shit. But apparently we are. We got to come up with a name for it. It's not the new right. It's not traditionalist. It's not a constitutionalist. It's not the Tea Party. There's got to be something that is. There's some word. We'll figure this out. All right, we'll work through this on this channel. We'll work through it. We'll find the word. There's a word out there for it. And again, I would have just said that. Well, it's an American. It's an American patriot. But you can't use those words anymore either. Those have also been bastardized. So there's something somewhere. Somebody knows. Somebody knows. It exists somewhere. And we'll find it. All right, guys. My name is Swamp. I hope you had a good time. We went a little long today. It was oh no, it's under 2 hours, so it's all right. My name is Swamp, and I just want to remind you guys, because if you've been in any of the late night streams, well, one, if you can, please send a super chat. Check out the merch page. Do super thanks on some videos that you like or whatever, help support the channel. But second of all, and this will not surprise you if you've, like I said, been catching the streams recently. My name is Swamp, and I would advise you to try Jesus, but don't try me.
Try Jesus, don't try me.
You know what I mean.
'Cause I fight. Try Jesus, don't try me. 'Cause I throw hands.
I think this has become the new theme song. This is my new theme song.
When you fuck with me, we're gonna have to scrap. Try Jesus,
Don't try me.
'cause I fight. I got no problem laying these hands. Try Jesus, don't try me. Yes, but I fight. Try Jesus, don't try me. 'Cause I throw hands. In the Bible, they talk about turn that cheek, well, that part that good, well, it don't sit right with me, yeah. Try Jesus, don't try me. 'Cause I fight.
for the channel.
I got no problem laying
These
these eggs.
Alright, count down from 5 and let's just do a second take to have.
So don't forget, try Jesus, don't try me. Yeah, we're gonna do over the legal limit. I was gonna play some games, but I kind of have a headache, so I feel like I'm not gonna be able to focus enough to play a game. But over the legal limit, and don't forget, I don't know if I've brought this up. Try Jesus, but don't try me.